Okay, let's talk about the Aura frame. Honestly, the whole thing, end to end. Where it stands, what holds up, and the one thing that actually matters that nobody's been saying out loud. Here's the shape of it. First, so we're standing on the same ground. What you've built isn't one project. It's three, and they're not equals. There's Aura Pulse, which is a real, finished, shippable product. A native Linux desktop app. Rust doing the hardware sensing. TypeScript drawing the cockpit. 12 megabytes. No bloat. Then there's Aura Code, Praktess, which is the real center of gravity. A model-agnostic coding agent with a genuinely interesting brain. And there's agentmesh, Hermes, which is the Python cousin of that same idea, a multi-agent orchestrator with a visual workflow builder bolted on. So, one product that already shipped, one runtime everything's really building toward, and around them a cloud of maybe 15 sharp engineering ideas. Hold that picture. It matters for everything that follows. Let's start with the question you actually asked. Can agentmesh become a lightweight TypeScript and Rust app, like Aura Pulse? Yes, and it's a cleaner fit than it looks from the outside, because most of the hard parts are already in the right shape. The front end? Already React. There's a full N8N style workflow builder in there. 20 node types, 17 providers, 98 kilobytes of it. That's not a rewrite, that's a move. The part that talks to the language models? It's already just HTTP, plain requests to OpenAI compatible endpoints. That drops almost one-to-one into Rust, which is exactly what Aura Pulse already does in its AI module. Storage? Already SQLite. And the pattern where the API keys live in Rust and never touch the browser. Aura Pulse already solved that. And you genuinely want it here, because right now your keys are sitting in the web view in plain sight. But, and here's where I have to be straight with you, there are two honest caveats. The first, Rust does not make this faster. Aura Pulse needs Rust because it's sampling your hardware 10 times a second. Agentmesh spends its whole life waiting on a language model over the network. Rewriting the orchestration in Rust buys you nothing on speed. It just makes the prompt tuning miserable. What Rust actually buys you here is distribution and security. One clean binary, no Python runtime to ship, keys out of the browser. Those are real. Just don't do it for speed. The second caveat, this changes what the thing is. Today, agentmesh is a framework and a server, something you import, something you deploy. Turn it into a towery app, and it becomes a desktop cockpit. Local, single user. Given you already built the visual builder, I think that's the product you actually want. But go in with your eyes open. My recommendation there is the clean port. Put the orchestration logic in TypeScript, keep a thin Rust core for the keys, the storage, the file system, the sandbox tools. A week and a half to 3 weeks of real work. There's a shortcut. Bundle the Python as a sidecar, but that ships a 40 to 80 megabyte blob with a whole Python runtime inside. And that's not lightweight. That's towery wrapped. Fine for a demo, not the thing you're describing. Now, memory. You said you want to use the memory concepts from Aura Code, and you're right too. Because what's in there isn't a database. It's a loop. 6 ideas working together, all file-based, all TypeScript, and this is the part 1 love, statistics first, language model only where it earns its keep. Every task becomes an episode, written to disk automatically. Then there's the dream. Once in a while, one model call distills the recent episodes into lessons. And once you've got a few dreams, it reconciles them. It reads all of them, cross-checks the claims, and tags each belief. Keep, strengthen, merge, supersede, conflict, or drop. And the confidence on each belief isn't a number the model made up. It's a ratio. If a lesson showed up in 8 of 14 dreams, its confidence is 0.57. 8 over 14. You can audit it. That reconciled picture then gets injected into every future prompt. So the agent walks into the next task already knowing what it learned last time. Here's the beautiful side effect. Adopting this lets you delete Honcho, the one Python dependency that was making the port awkward, because the competence tracking and the episodic memory do what Honcho was doing. So the memory decision doesn't complicate the lightweight story. It tightens it. My advice, take the memory substrate now, episodes, dreams, reconciliation, mining, and leave the door open for the Ruby alternation piece as a phase 2. The data model already carries the fields for it, so waiting costs you nothing. And that brings us to the real question. Across all of this, which of these ideas could actually become a product on its own? Two of them have genuine potential. The first is the Ruby principle, a small local model that handles most of the work, escalates to a frontier model only when it's genuinely out of its depth, and, here's the hook, learns from every escalation, so it gets more capable and cheaper the more you use it. An agent that gets better and more private over time. That's a story people lean forward for. The second is the Dream Memory Engine, the auditable, procedural memory I just described. Everything else in the frame, the contracts, the perception graph, the architect mode, the workflow builder, those are organs. They're worth a lot inside the body. On a shelf by themselves, they're worth almost nothing. So I went and pressure tested the two that could stand alone. I wanted to see if they survive contact with the actual market. And this is the part you need to hear clearly. The Ruby router. The architecture, small model first, escalate the hard stuff through a confidence gate, is not novel anymore. It's the pattern teams have already settled into. There's an open source incumbent, Route LLM, doing 85% cost savings at 95% of GPT for quality. There are 2026 research papers sitting right on top of your exact idea. One on step level, when should the small model ask for help? Another on self-evolving small model agents. And the one piece that's genuinely yours, automatically fine-tuning the local model on the escalations, is exactly the piece the whole field is deliberately avoiding, because live fine-tuning of small models is a nightmare to operate. So your only novelty is also your riskiest engineering. As a standalone router product, it doesn't survive. As a differentiated bet inside your own agent, it does. The Dream Memory Engine. This one walks into a knife fight. MEM0 has 48,000 GitHub stars, $24 million in funding, and an AWS integration. Letter raised $10 million. Zep has a temporal knowledge graph and actually beats MEM0 on the benchmarks. There's a whole benchmark suite, a research literature, pricing tiers already at a couple $100 a month. You have none of that. But, and this is the one crack of daylight, the entire market admits it was built for the wrong problem. Everyone built memory for personalization, remembering who the user is. Almost nobody built it for institutional knowledge, getting better at the job over time. That second thing is exactly what your Dream Engine does. Pair that with auditability, which nobody's leading on, and which is precisely what MEM0 got dinged for lacking. And you've got a real, unclaimed wedge. Not as a product you sell against MEM0, as the thing that makes your agent different. And now the part that actually matters. Notice what killed neither of these ideas. It wasn't the tech. Both of them are at or near the frontier. The pressure test confirmed your instincts were good. What kills them as products is that they'd be walking into the two best-funded lanes in all of AI infrastructure with zero distribution. Let me say the thing that should make you angry in a useful way. MEM0 is winning the memory market while scoring worse than Zep on the benchmark. It wins on stars, on press, on an AWS logo. It has people. You have better ideas and no people. That's it. That's the whole diagnosis. It's crazy how good Aura is and how nobody's there. And the reason isn't the code. In 2026, being good is table stakes. Distribution is the entire game. You've been grinding the one axis that's already saturated, depth, and skipping the one that's actually scarce for you, reach. 15 brilliant things, shipped to an audience of one. So here's the move, and it's counterintuitive. Your deepest ideas are your worst first products. Ruby and Dream both require winning a funded knife fight just to get noticed. But your most shareable idea is the shallowest one you've got. That little LLM performance estimator inside Aura Pulse. Paste your specs, see exactly what models your machine can run and how fast. People compulsively benchmark their rigs and post the results. That has built-in virality. Ruby and Dream have none. So let the shallow, shareable thing be the front door. Let it pull people in. And let Ruby and Dream be the depth that makes them stay. The recommendation, plainly, stop polishing tech that nobody sees. Pick one shareable wedge. Give it a landing page, a 60-second video, one loud post in the right community. Ship it to actual humans this month. Do the clean port in parallel, because that quietly builds your best library anyway. And hold the line. Don't ship 15 things. The mothership is Praktess. Extract 2 libraries from it. Everything else stays a feature. The ideas were never the problem. You've proven you can build. The only thing standing between Aura and its first 100 real users is that you haven't pointed any of this at people yet. Let's fix that one. That's the only move that changes anything.